What's happening, guys? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to my channel. Big up to everyone in the chat. First and foremost, hope you're all having a wonderful day, man. You lot know what it is. Champions League football. You guys know what it is. Champions League football, and it's a must-win game. I'm not even being dramatic, guys, but for me, this is a must-win game. Big up to everyone in the chat. As always, make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in. You guys know what the rules are. You come in, you wipe your feet, you hit the like button, and then you get involved in the chat, of course. And as mentioned in previous streams, you can now become a member of this channel. Exclusive content, member only. And I've also included a 2-tier system. So there's a level 1 and a level 2. Hopefully it's affordable for everyone, but always appreciate the support. Listen, guys, positivity in the chat first and foremost. Let's be positive. Let's be positive, because the good thing is that as of right now, we are still in a position to qualify for the round of 16. Obviously, after the game, that could change. But as it stands right now, we're still in a position to qualify for the round of 16. The table is, and you know what? There's no point mentioning, I think, Bayern Munich, because they might run away with this group, I think. They are sitting comfortably 3 games out of 3, top of the table. But the second spot is pretty much up for grabs. Galatasaray on 4 points in second place, and then followed by United in third place with 3 points, and then FC Copenhagen have 1 point. So that second spot is pretty much all up for grabs, I think, in my opinion. Anyways, it looks like it's all up for grabs. We're going to talk about the traveling squad before we kind of get into anything else. I'm going to quickly mention the traveling squad, because I mentioned on my stream the other day that I wouldn't mind Kobbie Mainoo being an option. He ain't going to be an option because he traveled with and was playing in the youth, the Champions League youth competition, whatever it's called. He was traveling in that, and he was playing in it when I was watching the game earlier, about an hour and a half ago. So the traveling team for Manchester United is, I'm going to start with it. Oh, and actually talking about the youth team, they ended up drawing. They were winning 2-1 when I turned it off. The traveling matchday squad is pretty much who we expect, with the goalkeepers, Bayinda, Heaton, and Onana. Defenders are Diogo Dalot, Evans, Lindelof, Maguire. Reguilon is back. Varane is back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is back as well. So that's nice to see more options in the defense, because I swear, last Champions League game, or 2 Champions League games ago, I swear we had 4 defenders. Midfield looking a bit stacked as well. We got Amrabat, Eriksen, Fernandes. Amari Forson joins the first team. Hannibal Mejbri, of course, Scott McTominay, Mason Mount, and Facundo Pellistri. And then our forward line is Anthony, Garnacho, Højlund, Martial, and Marcus Rashford. So I think we kind of know what the lineup is going to be. I think it's kind of obvious who's going to be the starting lineups. But first and foremost, big up to Eric, newest member. Shout out to Eric Reed, of course, newest member of the community, level 2 settings. Welcome to the minionship. Someone told me to change it yesterday on stream, so now it's called the minionship. Welcome to the minionship. The support is always appreciated. A lot of content coming for the members, of course. But in regards to the game today, kickoff is in about an hour and 40 minutes. However, lineups will be out in about 40 minutes or so. Let me know, guys, in the chat what you guys think predictions are in terms of who will start. I think the back line is kind of a given at this point. Although with Varane being back, I'm interested to see if Ten Hag continues with Maguire, who's been playing well. Maguire's been playing well, if we're being honest. He doesn't like to play, Eric Ten Hag has said, that he doesn't like to play Maguire as a left-sided centre-back. So I could see Maguire starting there, but does that mean that Johnny Evans would remain there? Does that mean Lindelof could play left centre-back? I know Varane can't play left centre-back, so Varane and Maguire both ain't playing. It's going to be definitely one or the other. I personally, for the sake of experience, for the sake of leadership, I would like Varane. However, I think it's very harsh to put Varane into a 90-minute game coming back from this injury or flu or whatever that's been happening, to put him into a Champions League game. And I think it's harsh on Maguire when he's been playing well. First and foremost, that's my point in terms of the back line. I think Diogo Dalot will be in left back, and I think it'll be Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. However, it's good that we got Regulon I can't even remember how KG tried to pronounce it, but it's nice that we've got Regulon as an option. And we've got obviously Lindelof as an option for centre back. So rotation is available in that back line. Guys, I'm worried. I'm not gonna lie. My biggest worry, before I get back into the starting lineup or what I think the starting lineup will be, my biggest worry is I saw a video of the atmosphere at FC Copenhagen. Do you remember how the team just crumbled against Sevilla? I'm scared that's gonna happen today. I'm actually scared that's going to happen today because I saw a video and I also saw what the manager was saying about, the atmosphere that they bring. They brought it to Old Trafford when they were playing away, and now at home the atmosphere is going to be different. I'm very worried, not scared. I'll say I'm worried because I'm worried that the players, mentality-wise, they will just capitulate because of the environment, because of the loudness, because of I feel like fans are going to try get in their heads. If Casemiro was to be playing, he's out injured, but if Casemiro was to be playing, I think the atmosphere might get into his head. He might get a red card. We need everybody 100% disciplined, 100% disciplined, 100% focused. Kind of not to let the moment get to their heads. That's my biggest worry. I'm not gonna think about Galatasaray or the last game against Bayern Munich, because you guys know me. You just focus on the games that's in front of you. Just focus on this game. We'll talk about Galatasaray when we get to Galatasaray. We'll talk about Luton on the weekend when we get to Luton on the weekend. We'll talk about Everton after international break when we get to that. Right now, the game in front of us is this game here. And I want to know your predictions. While I go through the comments in the chat, I would like to hear your predictions. Let me know. Big up to Tabislo in this chat. Big up, fam. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Someone actually mentioned in the chat that they ain't seen you in a minute. They said they ain't seen you in a minute in the streams. I hope you are doing well. And guys, you know what I also realized? Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, this sounds weird, but subscribers do cross my mind sometimes, because I realized that I haven't seen Ahmed Dushan in a long time. Since I've come back from Saudi Arabia, I haven't seen him on United View, and I haven't seen him here. I ain't seen him on KG's channel. So if any of you guys have seen him and I've maybe just missed him on streams, in comments, etc., let me know that he's okay. Let me know that he's okay. I hope he's all right. And if he hasn't been, and any of you are in communication with him, just let him know that I mentioned him and I'm thinking, right, I ain't seen him in about 3-ish weeks. Big up to Tabislo as always. And again, big up to Tabislo, newest member in the community. Welcome to the minionship. I promise you guys, I will be consistent with content, inshallah, for the members, for both tier levels. We got a lot of things cooking. I appreciate the support always. The content will be contenting, if that's even a thing. Suleiman comes through with the prediction. Big up to Suleiman. I hope you are doing well. It says 2-1 United. I saw someone earlier in the chat say 1-0 as well. Let me try to find that. Big up. I think, yes, it was Dipesh said 1-0 United, scrappy win. I don't know, man. I'm kind of in two ways about it, guys. I'm really in two ways about it. One part of me is thinking, well, it's United. We're in a slumber at the moment. But then another part of me is like, this is Champions League football. We have to turn up. If there's ever a time for us to perform, it's right now. That's what I'm thinking anyway, in my mind. In my mind, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm counting, or I shouldn't count on these players, because they've shown us time and time again this season that they can't be counted on. But I'm hoping that, the win on the weekend, even though that was a late win, last minute win, I'm hoping that kind of kicks some momentum into them. And I'm not gonna lie, I've said it before, the best time to pick up momentum is now, because we've got Luton and then it's international break. We come back from international break. We got Everton, we got Newcastle, we got Chelsea, we got Liverpool. Yeah. We got a run of games. We've got a serious run of games in December. So I definitely think that this is the time for us to kind of pick up some form. I would like for us to pick up some form. Big up to Koala, as always, says, I think the positive is the language barrier. It really affects players like Anthony, who will have a stinker anyway. Samira don't understand Danish. Oh, man. Koala, okay, I hear it. I don't think language is... One thing I would say is what's the term for like booing and that is a universal language. Yesterday, AC Milan fans, sorry, was throwing dollar notes with Donnarumma's picture on it. They were throwing it at him at the game, yeah, because he left AC Milan on a free to go to PSG. This is taunting people in football. That's a universal language. Like, I don't need to go to a game in Germany and, you know, I wouldn't say hurling abuse, but be taunting the players in German, because all I have to do is boo them. Every time they touch the ball, all I have to do is boo them, and that's it. Man like Lukaku speaks, 8 languages? I think he's understanding everybody, no matter where he's playing. When he's getting taunted by Inter Milan fans, Chelsea fans, whoever's taunted him, he's understanding it. I don't think language is a barrier when it comes to taunting people. But I just hope you guys remember the atmosphere in Sevilla, how much it got to people's heads. Yeah. Because that's what it felt like anyway. It got to my head and I was watching the game on TV. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like. And also, this is actually, I think, a preparation for Galatasaray away. I genuinely think that. Big up to Hagen, says, Chelsea fan, I need you guys to lose. But big up, Mina, you're not even in the Champions League. What do you mean I need you to lose? Say you want us to lose. Don't say I need you guys, because us losing is no benefit to Chelsea. But big up, I hope you are doing well as well. Shout out to Lumba in the chat, says hello Mina, big up. And yes, it was Suleiman that asked me about Tavistow. So you guys know that people are always looking out for each other. Koala mentioned something about Ahmed as well. I hope he's all right after reading that comment. I hope he's good. Big up to Jason in the chat. Big up to Adam in the chat. I know Adam is not going to be optimistic as well. And there you have it. Says it right away. Says this is going to be a long night. I can't lie. Guys, this Champions League campaign has been funny. Yeah. Because I've never seen us score the number of goals that we've scored over the last couple games and still be fighting for our lives to get out of the group. You know, that Bayern Munich game, that first Bayern Munich game, we were fighting for our lives. And what did that score even end? Was it 5-4 or something, or 4-3? I can't even remember. All I remember, it was a lot of goals on both ends. And even against Galatasaray, again, scored a number of goals. And we're still fighting for our lives, trying to get through. And sometimes I'm like, what more do we have to do? Obviously, you know, that's not me being ignorant. That's not me being ignorant. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not me being ignorant to think that, you know, we're playing good and we ain't getting results, because we're not playing good sometimes. I think our biggest problem in Champions League, because in the Premier League, I think we've got issues. There. But I think in the Premier League, in the Champions League, sorry, we just have moments of lapse where we concede. That Galatasaray game, we should have walked away with a win. We should have walked away with the win from that Galatasaray game. We had moments. Every goal was a moment of lapse on some sort of level, whether it was defensive level, midfield, etc. It was a moment of lapse. And I think in Champions League, you get punished for that. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen it in the past in knockouts rounds with other teams. We've seen it in finals. One moment of lapse, you will get punished. You will get punished for it. So I think that's our biggest hurdle, I would like to say. Do you guys want, and this is a question to everyone, it's not even do you want, because I don't think anyone cares what we want, but do you think it would be right to start Anthony in this game? Do you think it would be right to start Anthony in this game? Bear in mind, I think Anthony he's been the most criticized player over the last couple of weeks. I think Marcus Rashford, Bruno have been criticized, but you know, Marcus Rashford was dropped last game, so no one was talking about him. Bruno scored last game, so no one's talking about him. Anthony, people always got a little bit of something to say. They've always got something to say. Big up Pyramid Scheme says, big up to the minions, to all the positivity merchants. You better get on your... I'm not going to finish that. But you guys can read that comment for yourselves. Big up to Pyramid Scheme, has made it very, very clear many, many times that this season ain't it. Made it very, very clear. I don't think Copenhagen will finish their dinner. We will nick it. Bruno's gonna score again. I think I'm not gonna lie, I would like Højlund to score, but I'd also like for him to kick off his Premier League campaign. number one. I'd like for him to kick off his Premier League campaign, but he's got a number of goals in the Champions League, so I'll take that. Also, the fact that, you know, he's Danish, number one. Number two, his brother plays for FC Copenhagen. I would like for him to get a goal. I would like for him to get a goal. I'm not gonna lie. I'd like Rashford to score. But that's the thing. I can sit here and say I would want this person to score. I would want that person. But really and truly, realistically, who the F is gonna score if we get a goal? If we get a goal, or if we don't get a goal, who the hell is going to score? That's the question, because, you know, we've had games, Casemiro bailing us out, McTominay bailing us out, and Maguire bailing us out. Johnny Evans disallowed, but still, Bruno. I generally go into every game, guys, thinking, who is going to score? Who is going to score? Because I don't know. Personally, no, but we know what Erik ten Hag would do. You guys know Erik ten Hag is out here riding for Anthony. He's absolutely riding out for him. Like, I've not seen Ten Hag defend a player the way that he's defending Anthony. Don't get me wrong. I've seen him defend Marcus Rashford, but not to this extent. Not to this extent. Let me see the comments that has been made, because there was comments that I saw and I was thinking, bro, what is this guy on? Every couple of days, I'm seeing some sort of comments, whether it's a press conference, whatever, about the manager referencing something to do with Anthony. Me being a disgrace, I'm going onto United View Twitter to find these quotes, because I know they must have tweeted it. It looks like they didn't. It looks like they did not tweet it. Now I have to go find it elsewhere. Now I have to go. You know what? I can't find it. I'm a disgrace. I can't find it. However, the way that Ten Hag defends Anthony, I know for 100% he was fighting in that boardroom trying to sign him. I know for a fact he was trying to sign him. Have you trademarked Really and Truly? Richard Madness and is about to do it. Should I trademark it, guys? You know what? I was thinking of like merch ideas if I was ever to put out merch. And I obviously would want it to be like United related, but obviously have some sort of reference to this channel as well. So if there's any quotes that you lot feel like I say a lot, because I'm not going to lie, I don't know what I say a lot. So if there's any things that you think I say often, obviously Really and Truly has clearly been pointed out to me a couple of times. I might stick that on a shirt with a Minion face. But to be honest, I ain't trying to get sued by, who is it? DreamWorks. Who's the creators of Minion? Or Despicable Me? I can't even remember who's the creators of that. McSauce, Pelestri, Garnacho, Rasmus more likely to score. I don't think Garnacho's sniffing. I don't think Garnacho's sniffing that starting lineup. I don't think Garnacho's good unless Marcus Rashford is out injured still, or he's got this knock or whatever it is. I don't think Garnacho is sniffing that lineup. I think one thing I've learned from this season, is that Garnacho plays good in games that are I don't want to say it. From what I've seen this season, guys, and this is not me talking about him as a whole, but you remember the Crystal Palace game? The Crystal Palace game that we played phenomenally. What was that? I think it was Carabao Cup. It was the Carabao Cup, and we played a weaker side. I'm not saying that he plays better against, you know, people's B teams, but in a game with less pressure, because not gonna lie, Carabao Cup and a Premier League game, if you're out of the Carabao Cup, you're out of the Carabao Cup. It's not like it's the Champions League knockout stages, or it's not like it's the FA Cup, you know, fourth round. I think Carabao Cup teams can afford to go out in the knockout stages. That's essentially what I'm saying. So I think I don't think that United were counting on kind of defending our Carabao Cup title, or whatever you want to call it. But I think Garnacho plays better in those kind of games where I'm not saying that there's less weight riding on the game, but there's less kind of pressure. I don't know. I hope my logic is making sense. I feel like he's still growing as a person, as a player, and professional. So I think he's still learning. Let me see what you lot are saying in the chat. I think we should get football shirts and the names on the back should be Mina's version of the players' name. I should go and make, if I ever get the time, I will go back and make a comp of all the times I've butchered names. If I could do that. I might, you know what I might do as a joke, guys. What number does Maguire wear? 5. Should I get a number 5 shirt that says Yaqub on it? The thing is, only if you watch the channel would you understand that reference, because people will see me walking around with a shirt that says 5 and Yaqub on it, and people will think that's my surname. You know what, guys? I'm gonna get it. That's it. I'm actually gonna get it and I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna order it right after this. I'm gonna get it. That's it. I've never envisioned that I would ever own a Maguire shirt. But technically speaking, this ain't a Maguire shirt. This is a Yaqub shirt. Big up to Show in the chat. Says, rumor is zookeepers all over the country make the animals watch United games to put the animals to sleep. It's working too well. What are you saying? London Zoo is a snooze fest when Man United are playing. That's essentially what Show's saying. That's essentially what Show is saying. Big up to Jason. Says it's mental to think we have spent nearly 150 million on the right hand side and we still have League One level players. This is why I can't wait. This is not me putting pressure on him, but I look forward to seeing Amad Diallo returning, because I've seen links that he could go on a loan move to Wolves, but Erik ten Hag doesn't want him to. I think he's ready to play first team football, number one. Number two, I think he offers something different. He isn't like, these other wingers that we see, because, when you watch people like last night when, watching Rafael Leao, you're like, oh my God, direct winger. I saw an interview that on Twitter. It was like a clip of an interview that Doku did, Jeremy Doku, and he basically was like how, his inspiration or his motivation as a footballer is like when he plays football, he wants his opponent to hate him. He wants his opponent to not be able to sleep at night because he's haunted by him. You know how funny that is that he said that? I was laughing so much. But he's, again, another direct winger. Vinicius, Saka, etc. Amad is not like that. And that's why I would say Amad is more like a mix of, I would say, Anthony, Sancho, etc. in terms of, ability of keeping the ball at his feet, great playmaking ability, good at linking up with people. He's not speedy, but he can take on wingers. That's what you saw at Sunderland. And I think given the opportunity, he just needs the opportunity kind of thing. And he got injured, I think, at an unfortunate time. I think he got injured at an unfortunate time. Kolo Mwani. I ain't even butchered that many people's names, guys. And you know what's so funny, guys? I say it all the time. I give you lot a heads up when I say someone's name and I say, because I've done it to some subscribers too. I've mispronounced their names. I say, I'm sorry if I've mispronounced your name. But guys, I'll give you lot a little fun fact in it. I'll give you lot a little fun fact. Growing up, I had a speech problem. Yeah. And this is not to make you lot feel bad for taking the mick about the fact that I mispronounced names, because it's funny. I'm all for it. But I had a speech problem. I couldn't pronounce certain stuff. Shout out to my teacher when I was when I was like 7, 8 years old. My teacher used to keep me back at lunchtime for about a month and a half and just work on speech development because I used to struggle. And now I'm all right. Now I can pronounce the stuff that I couldn't pronounce. And I'm saying this story, which is funny, but the thing is, the things that I couldn't pronounce when I was a kid, I barely see it in footballers' names. So it's not like it's not like I'm still struggling. It's not like I'm still struggling. I don't know. I just want you lot to feel bad knowing that I had a speech problem growing up. This is another name I'm about to butcher. Chidinma. Big up to Chidinma. There you go. I said it perfectly. It says, hi, Mina. How do you think tonight's game will go? I'm at a point this season, and I don't know if any of you lot share similar sentiment, but I'm at a point this season where I just don't know how games are going to go. I genuinely don't know how games are going to go. Last season, I could go into games and say, yeah, we could get 3 points and, we can create chances. We can do X, we can do Y, we can do Z. This season, I'm very much like, I will only know once I sit down to watch the game. Once I sit down to watch the game, I think there's 2 ways that I feel about it. I feel either A, the moment and the pressure is going to get to them and they're going to capitulate, they're going to mentally collapse and they won't be able to handle the environment, or B, they will come out like, like Barcelona away. Do you guys remember Barcelona away last season? they're going to come out and play their socks off. However, we ain't seen that this season. So we can't really, I would say too much. We can't really say too much. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, join the members club. You lot know what it is. Pinned comment in the chat. Appreciate all the support as always. 20 more minutes, I think. Or yeah, is it? Does the team results come out? What time does the team lineups come out? I thought it comes out at 7. Sorry, I thought it comes out 1 hour. But someone's saying to me that it comes out at 6:45. So I need to double check. Let me just double check that. Big up Twalumba says, let's go with this. Says, what lineup do you think Erik ten Hag would go with? And what do you prefer? The lineup that I would prefer is, I think, one that plays to our strengths. I would say is one that plays to our strengths. I would say, you lot already know, I said I want Mason Mount on the right, please. Okay, you lot saying 7. Okay, so we got about 18 minutes to go. We got about 18 minutes to go. I would say number 1, Mason Mount on the right-hand side. Oh, wait, hold on. Give me a second, guys. I need to reply to thing. Oh, I need to call one of my siblings because they keep messaging me in the group chat. And I know they're subscribed to the channel, so I don't know why they're acting like hi, sorry, I'm on stream innit? That's why I can't reply to you. Where are you? Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, cool. All right, peace. Look at me, guys, being a good sibling. Being a good sibling, you know, I can't multitask. And I was getting called out in the group chat for ignoring people. But let's get back to this. You lot know my stance, man. You lot know my stance. Right-hand side, Mason Mount. I want to see Mason Mount on the right-hand side. I just give him the opportunity. Number 1. Number 2, I feel like we don't really, you know, I don't see anything different that Mason Mount can do what Anthony does, basically. Essentially, that's my point. Mason Mount can do what Anthony does. There's not really, I don't think, Anthony's strengths. It was for me at first, you know, his defensive contributions, but lately he looks undisciplined when it comes to defensive duties. So I think it's that. However, Ten Hag will go with Anthony. I will be so shocked if Ten Hag drops Anthony after backing him in the press for the last week or so. I literally think if Ten Hag drops him, then, you know, but actually it wouldn't really be out of character for Ten Hag to drop him, because Ten Hag is the same guy that, you know, was talking all about Maguire being captain last season and then benched him. And then talking about how important David De Gea was and then didn't renew his contract. So we know he's a liar. We know that he lies. Or it doesn't lie. Maybe he doesn't tell the truth. He doesn't lie, but he doesn't tell the truth. So that's that. Midfield, I think I would like to see a midfield of Amrabat, McTominay, and actually no, I'd like to see Amrabat, Hannibal, and Bruno in front of them. I don't think that will happen. But I would like that. I think for physicality, height, etc., McTominay will play. And also, I think one thing is that Hannibal, for me, is when he went on loan last season, I said the biggest thing he had to learn on loan, because we knew he could play. We knew he had the ability to play senior football. But for me, he had to learn discipline. And there was times, even when he was at Birmingham City, I know a lot of you guys might not have watched, but there was times at Birmingham City that he would literally get booked immediately, either straight from kickoff in the first half or straight from kickoff in the second half. And he would then get taken off because the manager wouldn't be too comfortable with keeping him on, because you just don't know what you're going to get. He's like a ticking time bomb sometimes. You don't know what you're going to get with him. I've seen him flying into tackles at some point. So I'd like to see Hannibal. I'm not sure about the defenders. That's the only thing I'm not sure about. The centre-back partnership, I'm not too sure about it, just because we know Maguire, right-sided centre-back. Varane is back. I don't know if Ten Hag is going to switch him out, especially I think he's kind of harsh when he's playing well. But then also Varane is like, you want Varane to be starting. The guy shouldn't be on the bench. But then again, is that Johnny Evans going to be playing again, or is it going to be Lindelof? It's just a lot of like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. If I had to play in Small Heath, I'd be angry too. I shout out Small Heath, man. They got banging restaurants in Small Heath. They got banging restaurants. Lineups are out on the official website. I thought the lineups come out at 45. Yeah, they're out. Here you go. Lineups right here, right now. It's exactly what we thought. Oh my God, Garnacho is starting. Garnacho is sorry. Let me go through the lineup, guys. Let me go through the lineup. Andre Onana in goal. Then we have Aaron Wan-Bissaka right back as expected. We got Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans back again, centre back partnership. And then on the left we got Dalot. Exactly what I thought it would be. It's literally what I thought it would be. In the midfield we've got Christian Eriksen, McTominay, and Bruno. And then we've got up top we've got Højlund, Garnacho, and I hate when they don't do this, and Rashford. Okay, so Anthony has been dropped. Anthony has been dropped, guys. And I was just saying, I don't think Ten Hag would drop him because he lies. And he just went and dropped him. He just dropped him. On the bench, sorry, is Bayinda on the bench. And then we got Heaton, Lindelof, Reguilon, Varane, Amrabat, Forson, Hannibal, Mount, Pellistri, Anthony, Martial. Martial on the bench. Let me know in the chat, guys, what you lot are thinking about that lineup. Garnacho, Rashford, Højlund. Ain't no way Ten Hag is playing Rashford out of position. There's no way Rashford's playing on the right. But to be honest, I'm not going to lie. Rashford on the right means he's kind of forced to cross it in, but he's just ineffective. Like, for me, just play people on the right who play on the right. Like, play people in their positions. That's all I ask. That midfield is... Scott McTominay has to put in a shift today in midfield, because that Eriksen is... If it's Eriksen playing as a lone 6, I don't know. I don't think it's Eriksen. I think McTominay is playing as a lone 6. And Eriksen is maybe playing a bit more forward, but we have seen McTominay playing a bit more forward, and I think it was Amrabat playing in that central role. However, that midfield is going to be fighting for their lives. They're going to be fighting for their lives. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. I don't know how McTominay... I said I thought McTominay would be in the lineup, but I'm not going to lie. I don't know how Eriksen is in that lineup. You want a base in your midfield. You want a solid base in your midfield. There is no way that Eriksen and McTominay is the solution to that. There's not a chance. If we play that midfield against Bayern Munich, yeah, Kimmich is having a field day. Kimmich, Musiala, them guys there having a field day. The fact that Ten Hag is playing McTominay over Amrabat tells you a lot. You know what's funny? I saw a report that said Amrabat was manager signing. He wasn't a club signing. However, the manager is fighting for him to be kept on a permanent basis in the summer. I think his price is 20 million plus about 8 million add-ons. So it's about 30 million euros in total. However, they have to, I think, notify Fiorentina in the January window, because he'll be a free agent in the summer, and they will probably trigger his contract extension. And obviously, so if the club want to buy him, they need to let it be known from early. It says a lot. It's true. So what Suleiman says here is kind of true. It says a lot that Champions League game, which is one of the reasons why Amrabat came to United, Erik Ten Hag has opted to put a midfield base of Eriksen and McTominay. I don't know who's playing where. Let me check. I'll check. I will check FootMob, but they're not really accurate all the time. It's just saying it's a double pivot of Eriksen and McTominay. It says a lot. It really, really does say quite a lot. Erik Ten Hag won't be here by the summer, so we'll be irrelevant. I think he'll still be here. What's the point of breaking our back? That's actually a tongue twister. What's the point of breaking our back bringing in Amrabat? Good question. Good question. Ten Hag wants out, does he? I think he's going with a safer option. I think he's going with the safer option to him anyway. To me, Eriksen plays a bit forward. McTominay plays a bit forward. If Eriksen is that deep lying midfielder that we're playing with today, the guy can't run. In defensive transition, he's getting outrun, he's getting outpaced. I think it was the Newcastle game. I think it was the Newcastle game where our midfield just got overrun so simply. And I'm worried that's gonna be again. I'm worried that's gonna happen again. McFred and Lindy/Maguire was better than this. You know what? I'm not gonna say that I missed the Lindy and I won't say I missed the Lindy and Maguire thing, because one thing I'm glad is that, and I hope Maguire has a good game, is that I hope Maguire has a good game because he's turned it around. He's turned his situation around on its head. McTominay as well turned the situation around on its head. But really and truly, Champions League game, this is a do or die situation. It's a do or die game. We lose, and what? If we lose, they go Copenhagen go above us with rock bottom of the table with 3 points. Yeah, we have to go to Galatasaray away, and then we got Bayern Munich at home. Bayern Munich, I feel like one thing that could help us is that by the time it gets to the last game of the group stages, they already qualified. They've probably already qualified after today if they win their game. Meaning hopefully they sit their players out and come with a weaker team to Old Trafford, and that gives us an easier route. But there's no way you set yourself up with a team, with a midfield like this in particular, and think, yeah, this is the midfield that's I need a 10 out of 10 performance from all of them. McTominay, Eriksen, Bruno. I need a 10 out of 10 performance. Rashford, I need a 10 out of 10. I need a 10 out of 10 performance from everyone. From absolutely everyone. How the hell can't Varane play in Champions League? It's mad. No, it is questionable. I feel like, guys, do you guys think that there's stuff going on behind closed doors? Because I seen the reference about him being dropped from a team and he wasn't happy, but I don't know. I feel like there's stuff going on between players and the manager, and we just aren't privy to know. Where's them leaks? Where's Lingard when we needed him for them leaks? Begged Mount to come, gave him 7 shirt, and he can't start games against Sheffield United, Fulham, Copenhagen. It's actually sad. It's actually quite sad to actually see the way that this Mount situation is. We paid 60 million for a guy that had 1 year left on his contract. We paid 60 million for a guy that had 1 year left on his contract. I think that says enough. I honestly think that says enough. And I feel like we've spent way too many times in the last, not just this year, but just generally our transfer policy, where we chase players and then they don't even fit into the team. Look at Sancho. We chased Sancho for how many years, guys? How many years did we chase Jadon Sancho for us to just get rid of, like, send him to the gulag? Sent him to the gulag. I just don't get it sometimes. I just don't get it. I think it's more of who he trusts, really. Maybe it could be that. It could be that fact that he's just going with people that he trusts, people that he thinks can grind out results. And also, what I've realized with Ten Hag, I don't know if I've realized it, but one thing I think we've picked up on is that he seems to reward players based on how they do in training. So if players aren't working hard in training, they might not start a game, right? So is this his way of saying, well, this is the midfield that has been working hard in training? So Scott McTominay, don't get me wrong, he gives me the vibe that he works hard. He gives me the impression that he works hard. Why? Because when you aren't the most technically gifted player, you have to work hard. And that's applicable, guys, in any sort of life situation. If you aren't the best at what you do, you have to work 10 times harder than the best to just even get a kind of equal footing opportunity. And that's not me criticizing him, by the way. That's just me saying how it is. So for that reason, I think in this situation, has McTominay been the player that's kind of worked more harder? But a big up to everyone in the chat. You guys know what it is. An hour and 5 minutes before kickoff. Lineups are out. We've got Anana in goal, Diogo Dalot left back. We've got Johnny Evans and Ari Jacob Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the back line. We've got midfield partnership of Christian Eriksen and Scott McTominay. We've got Marcus Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the right, and we got Bruno Fernandes, as always, in his position, and Rasmus Højlund, our top goal scorer in the Champions League. I think he's our top goal scorer. You know who's top goal scorer in the Champions League, guys? Morata. You know how random that is? Morata is the top scorer. Bare random. I saw it today and I was just like, whoa, that don't make sense. That does not make sense. We are definitely going to get to Debo and Kamara and other players from the French league. I saw the reports that was saying that Debo will be the #1 priority when Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in. If we're getting players from the French league, get Mbappe too. If his contract is finishing this summer and reports are Real Madrid don't want him, just go and do it. Just go and do it. I'm joking. But to be honest, if you give me, guys, if you give me Todibo, yeah, if you give me Mohamed Kamara from Monaco, yeah, and what else do we need? Because I still feel like we need a playmaking midfielder. I don't think Eriksen is cutting it. And I don't think Bruno can play deep all the time in that, you know, midfield position. But if you give me like, you know, and we need a fullback. Let's be real. Let's be real. We need a fullback and we need a right winger, actually. We need a right winger. Big up to Lil Yo-Yo in the chat. Appreciate the contribution. Says congrats on monetization. Something light. Something light. Appreciate it all the time. And it's thanks to you guys that I've been able to monetize my channel. It's thanks to you guys. Appreciate all of you lot rocking with me for this long. Especially, it's been a bit of a roller coaster of a season. Todibo in and Varane out. That does not make us any stronger. I think we need 2 centre backs, guys. I think we have to get 2 centre backs to even, especially if you know, Johnny Evans joined on a 1-year contract. I'm not going to mention him, but I was saying last season that we needed a centre back. I was saying that we needed a centre back last season. Give me Todibo and Lukeba. Go to RB Leipzig, even though they just brought him. Go to RB Leipzig and let's take Lukeba from there. And if we can't take him, bring me Simakan from RB Leipzig, who can play as a right back as well as a right-sided centre back. Of course, we can't have too many right-footed players. You're not forgetting we still got Lisandro Martinez as a left-sided centre back. We got Luke Shaw as an option there as well. So I definitely think we can, if we can find 1 centre back and then someone who can play centre back, right back, I think we'll be good. Jason says we still need a CDM, CM, right winger, a striker, as well as 3 centre backs. But we just brought a striker. Did we not just buy a striker? Did we not just buy a striker in Rasmus Højlund? Anyway, that's my impression. If we need another striker, it's probably because obviously Martial will be leaving. I think he's actually approaching the end of his contract. Is he approaching? I think he's approaching the end of his contract as well. So if we do get a striker, I think it's best that we get a striker like, you know, one that can be happy to kind of be a rotational player. You know, be a rotational player. I think that's the kind of striker that we'd have to get. Varane is the centre back version of Martial. I'm tired of the injuries. We need someone we can rely on. You know, it says a lot, guys, that Varane retired from international football at the age of 29. He's 29. He retired. Obviously, he's won a lot. He won World Cup, all of that stuff. But he retired from international football to focus on club football because he said his body couldn't handle the number of games they play at club level. And then on top of that, not only are you playing like Euros qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers, but then you're also playing this Nations League and all of that stuff and friendlies. So it's a lot of games. But to retire at 29 years old from international football, nobody questions that. Nobody questions that. And I think, guys, and I'm not joking, yeah, because I've said this time and time again, a lot of them players from the 2018 World Cup winning team dropping like flies. Bear with them. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, guys. I'm not. I don't believe in conspiracies. But Paul Pogba got suspended. He got suspended for doping. And he's been accused of magic. Matuidi, he was dusted. What's that other guy called that was playing at Umtiti? Dusted. So many players that was playing in that France team, guys. I swear it's a bit. Don't you find it suspicious? That's suspicious. But all jokes aside, though, The fact that Varane retired from international football to focus on club football and now is not even his number one option anymore. His body is not handling this Premier League football. I think it's taken a toll on him. And I think in this kind of situation, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Lloris, another one. Another one. Hugo Lloris. Mendy. Pair of them. 2018, something happened with that French squad. Something happened with that French squad. It's very suspicious. Very, very, very suspicious. I wouldn't take Mbappe way too big of an ego. I would never turn down Mbappe, guys. I am going to be very honest with you guys. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Varane and Casemiro defo gone to Saudi next summer. But I have a feeling one of them will go in January. I've seen reports that Casemiro could be gone in January. I think it's unlikely. My guy's injured right now. Won't be coming back on for a hot second. He's back, I think, in February, expected to be back in February. However, in my opinion, I said this time and time again to you guys. I've said this like quite a lot. I see Casemiro going to Saudi by summer. I said I see him going in the summer. And I think United will cash in someone to pay his wages. It'll be a big thing for Saudi football to have some of the biggest Brazilian stars playing in Saudi Arabia as well. But that says a lot about our transfer policy, yeah? When we signed Casemiro, we spent 70 million on him to sell him to Saudi in a year and a half. That's unserious. That is unserious. Obviously, I'm saying this prematurely because we don't actually know if he's going to Saudi. But hypothetically speaking, if he does, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Mina, if Varane goes in Jan, how much we get in would take a light 25, 30 mil. Listen, I don't know. I don't know how much. Unless Sir Jim Ratcliffe brings in people that can sell, people that know how to do the football talk and all of that, I think we could get 35, 40 mil for him if he's going Saudi. If he's going to another European team, which I think is unlikely, but if he goes to another European team, I think they will look at him and be like, you know that meme of the guy, there's a meme of a guy that puts £1 on the table and he's like, take it or leave it. And he walks out of the shop and he takes his Red Bull, I think it is. That's going to be them. They're going to slap 20 million on the table and be like, take it or leave it. This is all you're getting. This is the most you're getting out of us. And I think that's the situation. I feel like with a lot of players that we've brought over the last couple of years, we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot. I think, I don't know, man. That would be an interesting one. Mbappe is going to be cooked by media pundits about his efforts. Listen, Mbappe has dropped some questionable performances in the Champions League, but I will still take him. I don't know how people say that they would not take Mbappe. Like, that just blows my mind. That he's one of the best in this era of football that we're living in. His generation of football. He's like one of, I think, 7 now players or 6 or 6. He's one of 6 players that have won the Golden Boy award and the World Cup. You know that. Obviously, Paul Pogba is also one of them. Mario Götze, I think, is another one. There's about 6 of them that's won it, and I don't think any of them ever won actually multiple World Cups. He nearly got close to doing it back to back. As much as we think about Mbappe, one thing I don't like about Mbappe is obviously the drama that comes with him. The drama, but I feel like at PSG, that drama was more so, and hear me out, I feel like that drama was more so around the time that Neymar and Messi were also there. So it's 3 big personalities, 3 big players, 3 essentially big brands that they were dealing with. So that was their media selling point. I remember I went to a PSG game last season and Mbappe sucked. Honestly, he was so crap. Monaco were actually unfortunate to draw that game that I went to. But everywhere you went, even though Messi was there and Neymar was there, Mbappe was the pictures everywhere in the stadium, leading up to the stadium, on the trains when they're advertising PSG stuff. It was Mbappe, Mbappe, Mbappe. So he's got a selling point. There was a comment that I wanted to come to in the chat. I don't know where it's gone. Oh, wait, I pinned it. That's why I couldn't find it. Jason says, I think we need to replace minimum of 90% of our squad to get anywhere near to where we want to be. This is interesting because we've already replaced a lot of people. Ten Hag, since he's come in, how many players have left? There's been about 15 players that's left in total. Another 13 have come in. Some of them obviously loan spells. But if we just count, guys, if we just count how many players have come in last season, Malacia, where is he? Where is this guy? We haven't seen anything about him doing rehab, like rehabilitation or anything. We haven't seen any. The guy exists. Was he a hologram last season? I haven't seen him since this summer when he was partying with Rashford during their break before preseason. I saw pictures of him and Rashford together, and then suddenly haven't seen him. Suddenly we're told he's got a long-term injury. He was a hologram. He did not exist. He was a thought in our imaginations because we haven't seen the guy at games. You know, sometimes when you're injured and you go to watch your team and Sky Sports or whoever will pan to you in the crowd and be like, oh, yeah, this player injured. We ain't seen that. We have not seen Tyrell Malacia at all. But anyways, number 1, Tyrell Malacia. Number 2, Eriksen. Number 3, Lisandro Martinez. Number 4, Anthony. Number 5, Casemiro. I'm trying to think who else we signed last summer. That's 5 there. I'll come back if I've missed anyone. Please drop it in the chat. This season, obviously in the summer January, we brought in Weghorst, and then we brought in Sabitzer. I don't know why people are asking Sabitzer questions about Manchester United in press conferences, and he's actually given his opinion. I don't know. But anyway, that's 7. So that was 7 last season. And then this summer, we've brought in... who have we brought in this summer? We've brought in number 1, Onana. Number 2, Mount. Number 3, Amrabat. Number 4, we've brought in... Bro, why I got a fish brain suddenly? Hoyland. Number 5, Bayinda. Number 6, Johnny Evans. So that's about 13 players that we've brought in. Give or take. Where's Tyrell coming? Like, where's Wally? Waldo for the Americans. Yes, for the Americans is Waldo, but for the British people is where's Wally. Malacia is on a world tour. He's a big artist in the Netherlands. You know what's so funny is no one's questioning where Malacia is. Like, I haven't seen anyone say anything about where's Malacia. Like, clearly people don't value him that much in the team, but come on, like, this is a player that we were hyping up last season. I said we had 21 scrubs in our squad last season, and Erik ten Hag keeps adding more. He's just bare scrubs. Somebody played TLC no scrubs for him because I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't. I'm joking now, but this is harsh because I know who Pyramid Scheme is referring to Mason Mount in this. I know for a fact this comment here, right here, is in reference to Mason Mount, which you lot know. I know I might not be, the most. I don't criticize him too much, but I'm giving him a chance. Players that aren't United standard: Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, Varane, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, Malacia, Anthony, Sancho, Amrabat, McTominay, Eriksen, Casemiro, Mount, Bruno, Donny, Rashford, Martial. So that's basically everyone. That is basically everyone. I think Shaw has only missed out about 3 or 4 players from this. How many people from this is actually playing today? Wan-Bissaka's playing, Dalot's playing, Maguire's playing, McTominay's playing, Eriksen is playing, Bruno is playing, Rashford is playing. So he's named 7 out of the 11 starting team today. I think that's harsh. I think some of the players here are quite harsh. I think some of them are backup options. The rotational players, etc. We signed Mason Mount Minute. I'll never forgive him. Never. Come on, man. Come on, man. Just give him time. Give him a chance. Evans over Varane is madness. You know what? I do think it's madness, but also I get it because Varane and Maguire are both right-sided centre-backs. One thing I've realised about Ten Hag, although he likes to play players out position, he likes to play Bruno on the right and Amrabat here, Luke Shaw left centre-back, etc. He does not like to play these certain centre-backs that have certain attributes. He doesn't want to play them out of position. So if they are a right-sided centre-back, he will play them at the right side, even if he needs to play them on the left side. And I think he said this before, that the reason why Varane didn't start. I think he opted for Maguire instead because he didn't want Maguire to play left-sided and Varane play right-sided, because essentially you're just playing with two right-footed centre-backs, which is very important to him, apparently. So I kind of get that. But for me, I don't understand. Champions League, this is the player we call Champions League Varane. We literally call him Champions League Varane. And it's Champions League and you are not playing him. Champions League, must-win game, and you are not playing him. Maybe they don't feel defensively threatened to kind of bring out the big guns. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of this as much as you guys are. Show says I missed Evans. Okay, so that's another player that we need to add to the list of players that aren't cutting it in the club. Jason says Show isn't wrong though, Mina. How many of our players would even get on the bench for another top team? How many of our players, guys? Yeah, how many of our players, top teams in not just England but just top teams in Europe? Yeah, so Barca, Madrid, PSG, AC Milan, all of them kind of stuff. How many players in our team right now, including the Premier League top 6 as well, how many of them could make it into the first team? Because I'm seeing Ruben Loftus-Cheek that wasn't playing at Chelsea absolutely batting up PSG last night for AC Milan. He's made it into AC Milan's midfield, and he's a big part of it. Sometimes I feel like players, maybe they can't make it into, their own team, but if they leave to another big European team, they can make it into that. So I'm just thinking out loud here. How many players do you think? Because I think Bruno, as much as we criticize him, anyway, Bruno could play in a lot of teams. I feel like Bruno could play in a lot of teams. Do they need him? That's a different story. Would they? For example, I know Arsenal wouldn't swap Bruno for Odegaard. And I know they wouldn't swap KDB for Bruno. Maybe I'm just shooting myself in the foot, guys. Guys, I'm not making sense here. Because I'm basically saying these teams wouldn't swap their players for our players. So that basically proves the point that they can't make it into those teams. Licha, Casemiro, and Varane on form can. I'm worried about Licha, guys. Licha is one player that I'm currently worried about, because I feel like this injury that he got whenever it was the end of last season, I think it's going to set him back. And I said that at the beginning of the season when I said he doesn't look like the normal type of Lisandro Martinez that we'd be seeing. I think this injury might set him back a little bit. Damn, Atom K says Bruno can't play for Luton Town. What are you saying? Tafe Chong over Bruno? That's mad. That's mad. Big up to Atom K. Okay, maybe Cass, but realistically 1 or 2, not Bruno. Allow it, Mina. How old was Bruno before we signed him? Enough said. You guys don't be rating Bruno. Top players, big up top players, says Bruno starts for Al Nassr. I don't even know if he would start there, bro. Bruno wouldn't start for Brighton or Villa, let alone top teams. Fernandez would work in bare teams depending on style of play. Here you go. Here you go. I agree. Thank you very much, Lil Yo-Yo. Thank you very much, Lil Yo-Yo. I agree with this. So I think Bruno would fit into teams. I'm trying to think out in Europe, just in generally right now, Europe. I think all the big teams he could get into it. I think he could get into it. And there's a reason why, guys. There's a reason why Bruno, every manager has played him. International played him. This guy is the most played player. There is something about Bruno Fernandes that managers like and managers want. There's clearly something about Bruno that managers want. Loftus-Cheek was a baller. He was better than Mount. People say otherwise. Like, I was following that Chelsea team, that youth team in particular. Obviously, I think to compare a player at youth level to senior level, I think is kind of different. But I was following that Chelsea youth team. Loftus-Cheek was in that team. Obviously, Mason Mount. Mason Mount was the one in that team. And this is, they had people like Jeremy Boga. If you guys know about Jeremy Boga, he was a baller at youth level. Very sad how the trajectory of his career turned out. But he was a baller. Solanke. There was a lot of players, basically. And Mason Mount, coaches, even people that played with him, they said that Mason Mount was the one that was going to make it in first team at Chelsea. And he was. He was the one out of all of them. Callum Hudson-Odoi was a different, I think a couple years below them. But there was a lot of them that just didn't end up flourishing and moved away. Ruben Loftus-Cheek had injury problems. I think he would have been good at Chelsea if it wasn't for the injuries, and B, for obviously the competition in that space that he plays in. But who else? Tomori. There's a lot of Chalobah. All of them. People have had to move away to other clubs to get opportunities. Mason Mount was the only one from that team of that Chelsea crop. I think it's 2015, 2014 that won the youth league. Obviously, like I said, it's harsh to compare a player at youth level to when they're playing senior football. So let me not do that. Bruno plays football like he hates it. You guys are, and the comments I'm reading right now about Bruno Fernandes is making me laugh so much. Bruno is a ball grenade. He would work in the Gerard Piqué football sport he started. It's pure chaos. That five-a-side game where people wear masks. Bruno would wear a mask and we would still know it's him. Bruno Fernandes looks like an Atletico Madrid type player to me. I agree. I think the intensity of Atletico Madrid, the style of football that they play, I don't know. That's a good point. That is a good point. If Bruno played for a team like City, he would be getting mental number of assists. Guys, look at it. Last season, how much chances did he create for Weghorst? Yeah. This year, I don't think even a quarter of those chances have been. And by the way, all these chances were created for Weghorst last season, and Weghorst sucked. I backed him all of last season, but he sucked. He could not put a ball into the net. I remember I saw him missing chances from the 6-yard box. That's at that point, even I could score from the 6-yard box. Put me in a game, I could score from the 6-yard box. But all them chances that were created for him, what I don't understand is why is it not being created for an actual forward that we have this year that has shown us he can score? He can create his own chances. So why is Bruno not creating chances for Højlund? I think that's a question that we should have if we're going to talk about, him getting mental number of assists at City. I'm not saying Højlund is on the level of Haaland because, you find Haaland in the box 9 times out of 10, it could be a guaranteed goal. And if you ain't finding Haaland, you can find a cutback and you'll find your wingers or midfielders kind of running into play. So you'll be getting assists. That's true. But why is Bruno not creating the same number of chances that he was creating for Weghorst last season? Now that we have an actual striker, nothing, absolutely nothing. Top teams don't rate Bruno. No one is trying to sign him. Mina, search Google. There are 0 transfer rumors. That's actually mad. Maybe there's no transfer rumors because, hear me out, guys. Maybe he's just made it so clear that he is staying at Man United and he loves the club. Maybe he's made it that clear that he loves the club and he's staying put. Maybe it's that why. Maybe that's the reason why. You lot are cooking him. Oh my days. Dipesh says Bruno is so overrated. Damn, you lot really don't be rating him at all. Bruno plays hot potato football. He does play. Like, sometimes I'm wondering, like, what is the rush? Sometimes I think when he has the ball, I'm like, what, is there someone chasing him that we're not aware? Is there like a ghost chasing him that we're not aware of? Because I do think that sometimes, because I'm like, why is he just so, like, he's rushing everything? He does it, and I hear it, guys. I hear that, but I feel like sometimes the criticism is kind of. Watching Ruben Loftus-Cheek yesterday, he looks like a player that could do the Frankie de Jong role as a ball carrier for Man United. He's very strong and skillful. He was barging through players. Like, he was not even barging. He was bulldozing players. He was absolutely bulldozing players. Great ball carrying yesterday. And I think because PSG's midfield was so overrun, like PSG's shape yesterday was so bad defensively and just in midfield. Chances is a loose term. You mean inshallah through balls? Can we actually call the last assist where the ball was at McTominay's throat an assist? Listen, if it finds the player, it finds the player. It's as simple as that. If it finds the man, it finds the man. The job has been done. But guys, before I wrap it up quickly, because I need to order my food before the game so that it comes in time for the game. It's a cheat day today. But predictions in the chat about the result, depending on, I don't know, I might go live later this evening, I might not, but we'll definitely have a stream tomorrow. Obviously, we've got some gaming content tomorrow as well. But predictions in the chat one last time. I'm gonna say 3-1 Man United. I don't know where I think we're getting 3 goals from. I don't know where we're getting 3 goals from. I'm thinking it's the Champions League. It's heritage. It's heritage. We're gonna go away and we're gonna score 3 goals when we can't even score 1 goal. Maybe I should take that prediction back. Maybe I should take that prediction back. If we win, that's all that matters, guys. Honestly, if it's a scrappy game, and we just about nick it and we just about walk away with 3 points, I will take it. Because like I always say, 3 points is better than nothing and it's better than 1 point. Especially when right now every point counts. Every point counts. Dipesh says 1-1 now that I've seen that lineup. Lil Yo-Yo says we'll scrape through 2-1, honestly. Pyramid Scheme also says 2-1 United. Jason says 2-0. Show says Copenhagen 3-1. And Atom K says we're going to lose 2-1. Listen, I'm glad a lot of you lot think we're going to win. I'm glad a lot of you lot think we're going to win. Big up to everyone in the chat. As always, you lot know what it is. Be sure to hit the like button. I'm liking the ratio of likes right now. As mentioned earlier in the stream, you guys can become members on the channel. It's called the Minionship. It ain't called the membership. It's called the Minionship. And there's 2 tiers that you can get. If you'd like to be a member of the channel, you get your badges, you get your emojis. Of course, more emojis are on its way. I'm working on it, I promise. And a lot of behind the scenes content. I'm doing behind the scenes vlogs of my days, of my shoots, all of that kind of stuff. We'll do member only live streams. Also gaming opportunities. If you're a gamer or you just like to casually game, you can play with me or against me in whatever game it is. Of course, bringing a lot of content on the channel. There's content for everyone, women's, men's, gaming, all of that kind of stuff is coming on the channel. Appreciate the support all the time. Big up to everyone. You lot know what it is. Turn on your post notifications, because if I go live this evening or tonight, you definitely do not want to miss it. Big up to everyone. You guys know what it is. Mortal Kombat 1. I got that. If you want to play Mortal Kombat 1, I ain't good at it. But if you want to play it, we can play it. What other games do I have? I got EAFC, NBA, Call of Duty. I'm thinking of Street Fighter. Obviously, we'll get Tekken when it comes out as well. I want to get UFC. But I need to get through the backlog of games that I have right now. Make sure you guys become members. Big up to everyone. And like I said, turn on your post notifications. So when I go live, if I go live tonight, you lot will be notified. Big up to everyone. Come on, United, man. 3-1. 3-1 settings. Oh, Lil Yo says, where's Mina versus KG? Guys, I will show you lot proof. Let me show you lot proof. Hold on. I messaged him today. He hasn't replied to me. But I messaged him today. And I said to him, international break. Let's do this EAFC thing. 3 games on my channel. What day works for you? Let me know. He ain't replied. It's been about 7 hours. Bro has not replied to me yet, but I know he will reply in due time. Otherwise, I'm just going to... I might just drop a super chat on United View today and say, KG, can you please reply to my texts? As simple as that. You don't know what it is. Hit the like button on your way out. Come on, United. 3-1. Peace.